Coach, thank you so much for the time. How you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
We're doing very, very well. It's been a while. We've been looking forward to having you on. And honestly, we see you. We watch your press conference. It's like a whole new you. Who inspired the new look, the beard?
Well, my wife Kelly's been trying to get me to do it for a while, so I finally succumbed and I did it. So it's her inspiration.
It adds some distinction, Coach. Do you feel more distinguished with the beard?
Nope, I feel the same. So
You know, our Bears reporter who's there, Mark Grody, who we have on every day, we were kind of busting on him because the longer he covered you, it seemed like he was starting to look like you. Did you notice when he did the slick back hair that he was starting to look like you?
I did not notice. I would have saw Pat Riley in the audience. I didn't see him.
I'm telling you, Mark Grody, he was just so inspired by you to become you.
Coach, our old friend and yours, Dave Wanstead, we talk to him on Thursdays, usually have a cocktail. He had Wani's Army back in the day, fans that enjoyed Wani as a coach. How do you feel about enthusiasts or people who are enthusiastic about your job as the head coach of the Bears? You okay with that one?
No, I'm a good friend with Wanstead as well. And what's his drink of choice, by the way?
Usually a Manhattan.
Bourbon.
Or Terry Bradshaw bourbon.
Yeah, exactly. Bourbon on the rocks.
Good. I'm an old-fashioned guy myself, but yeah, that's definitely good. But yeah, anytime you can get support, you need that, right? You need support from your fan base, and you need support from the ownership, and obviously from your players and the fan, and the whole Chicago land. So to me, it's always good. Anytime you can get that, that's awesome.
One of the reasons that I've called myself enthusiastic or whatever is the culture that you have cultivated, like the togetherness that this team obviously has and Ryan Poles sees. How does that togetherness show up on the field during games on a given play, Coach?
Yeah, I mean, so it's about the foundation is really a good question. Also, is how do you build it? That to me is the most important thing. And to me, when you're looking at it, it's two things. You bring guys in that love football, and they show that by the way they play. So when we're looking at these free agents, we're looking at the draft guys. When we watch that tape, those guys jump off the tape because of their passion for the game and the way they play the game. You can easily see that. And then when they get into the building, we hold everybody to the same high standards of how we respect each other, how we work, and how we go about our business in the building, and we never walk by a mistake. And that's what we do, and that's how we create that culture.
So once you have that, how does it show up during the game?
Yeah, well, when you have those guys that are held at a high standard and they love the game, that's going to be evident during the course of the game. Like you look at DJ or Montez or the guys that are, TJ, the guys that show that passion during the course of the game, you'll see it. It'll be evident because we're playing a certain style, the Chicago style.
A guy who we know is very passionate about the game and we know him well is Jaylen Johnson. He's on our show every week. And you have had, he wants to shadow receivers. He's not shy about that. He wants to play aggressive press man. He's not shy about that. You once had him at running with the backups at a mini camp. He's on your leadership council. He's requested a trade. It feels like it's been a lot. There's been a long journey with your relationship with Jaylen Johnson. How is your relationship now?
Oh, it's great. I mean, him and I have really honored our relationship together that we've had over the last 2 years, and our relationship has grown. I've grown to respect him and to honor his work patterns and to really look at him as a leader of our football team. And he's done an outstanding job, and really, with the enhancement of his play this year, with taking the ball away, and really just bringing that defense together, in the back end and the front end. So he to me has been tremendous over the last 2 years.
What did he add to the game? Why did the takeaways just start happening now?
Well, he worked on it. He worked on it. We brought it to his attention. He worked on it. We worked on it with the catch points, worked on it with him and Coach Haugh. He worked on it after practice, and he was just diligent and determined that he was going to be a guy that was a ball guy. And we're going to need that going in the future, too.
So we're talking to Matt Eberflus here, Parkins Spiegel on the Score. Coach, one thing that's hampered the last two Bears quarterbacks has been a lack of continuity with coaching. Mitch was here with John Fox, then he gets fired before his second year. Justin was here with Matt Nagy, then he gets fired before his second year. Whether it's Justin or a rookie quarterback, how important is it that you guys break that trend of a lack of continuity when it comes to developing a quarterback?
Yeah, to me, I think it's important that you really keep building the foundation. We feel really good about the 2 classes that we've draft classes and the 2 free agency classes that we've signed. And that's the solid foundation that we're standing on. And really, this is the same process this year. We got to do a great job of evaluating the draft class, great job of signing these free agents, and then onboarding these guys into our team and the way we do our business. And to me, that's the pieces that you need to have to really have that continuity you're talking about, not only on offense, but also on defense and special teams. And to me, we're making progress there, but we got a lot of work to do before April 15, before the players get in here, and then also once the players get in there till June 15, till summer break. So we got a lot of work ahead of us.
Coach, we love talking about this defense and talked with your mentor, Rod Marinelli, about the 3 technique quite a bit. You had DeForest Buckner. We know that you and Ryan Poles wanted to get Larry Ogunjobi. Where are we with Javon Dexter? Do you feel like that could be your 3 technique engine for this defense?
Yeah, we love where Javon is. He really had a really good end of the season. His last 8 games was really, really productive for him. And, he's on the rise. And I always said that the biggest improvements from the first to the second year with those players. And he's one of those rookies that, we've played a lot. We played a lot of those guys over the last 2 years, and he's one of them. And we expect a big jump, in his production this year.
So do you feel like you have 3 techniques solved?
You're always looking to add pieces in the defensive line. So, it's ever changing and ever evolving. So, I've always said you can never have enough defensive linemen. And I'll go to the grave saying that.
So, Coach, you said during your press conference you've been looking at quarterbacks your whole life. Who's your favorite?
Man, that's a good one. There's been some good ones that I've looked at. So I was here, when they had all those really good ones, with Brady and Breeze and all those guys have been just tremendous to look at, over the course of the time. But, I would really say that I don't have a favorite. Man, I just marvel at their ability to be tough and hang in the pocket and deliver the ball when the moment counts.
Yeah, Poles referenced that you guys are talking about surgeons and artists. Do you have a preference in terms of style?
Yeah, I think that was really good. Jeff King came up with that. Some are surgeons and some are artists. And to me, I think there could be a blend of that too. There's some blending there that goes on, but definitely a guy that's a surgeon wants to be accurate, and the artist can create. So I believe that's a pretty good analogy.
It seems like they all have to be surgeons in the 4th quarter. Like when everybody knows that you're just going to have to drop back and pass and you can't use some of the other stuff. Like, is that the most important thing, that they can do that, Coach?
That's one of them, though. But if you think about Super Bowl. Think about the Super Bowl. What happened in the last part of that Super Bowl? Well, there was some great accurate throws by Pat, but he also used his legs, moving into overtime and also in overtime to be able to create some yardages and some favorable things for that team. And that's, again, he's able to do both. But
he's not able to run for that if they're not respecting the fact that he's a surgeon, right? Like they know that he can beat them from the pocket, and that's what makes it available.
No, that's a fair statement. There's no question. That's why you got to be able to do both. I think if you want to be elite, you have to be able to do both those things.
Is Justin a surgeon or an artist?
Justin has shown ability to do both for sure. We love Justin where he is, where his leadership is. Our football team loves him. And again, we're in the middle of this process, and we'll figure out where we're going here in the near future.
Justin has said that he just kind of wants the whole thing to be over because he wants to know if he's back or being traded. Can you relate to that just on like an emotional and psychological level for him, Coach?
Absolutely. Him and I talked about that the other day, and it's totally relatable. And everybody can relate to that. No one wants gray. No one wants anything up in the air. We always want to know yes or no. But there's times in life where you got to live in this space of gray, and you got to be comfortable doing that. And he's comfortable. He has a great solid foundation. He's got a great family. He's got great character. And as soon as we figure these things out in the next coming weeks here, we'll let him know and let everybody else know.
Yeah, it was interesting to hear him. Like, it was so relatable. He said he normally likes to watch film in the offseason, so it's interesting that you just talked to him, recently. He's not able to talk to Shane Waldron and get a playbook and prepare in that way?
No, only right now we're only allowed to talk just personal stuff.
Personal stuff.
No football. Yep, no football. At all. Talk to player, coach, player.
Got it. And so then in terms of philosophy, right, you have the number 1 pick in the draft. Obviously, people normally think that's going to be a quarterback, but you're going to have expectations this year to win, whether it's a rookie or Justin is coming back. Could you see yourself philosophically starting a rookie quarterback from day one, or do you believe they're best to learn from the bench as a rookie?
Yeah, I think you have to evaluate the whole process, going from, the draft all the way through the first game. And then you make your decision based on what you see and what you feel and what you know is true. And to me, that's what, when you got a good, solid foundation around that player, which we're going to have, that makes that decision a little bit easier. But, it's, again, you got to evaluate that when the time comes.
There's been some rookie quarterbacks who led teams to the playoffs. Coach, Legion of Boom and Russell Wilson. You ever talk to Pete Carroll about that model? Pretty good defense with a rookie quarterback there.
Yeah, it's always good when you have a quarterback's best friend is always the running game and a great defense. And to me, those are two good things that you got to establish if you want to be able to win, and win in January and December and January.
Yeah, what did Pete tell you about Shane Waldron?
Yeah, it was an interesting conversation just about his adaptability, about his, how he works with the offense and how he's creative, in terms of putting his skill in position. Just the way he worked through those the change he had at quarterback during the time he was there and how he was able to adjust and make it happen.
Hey, Coach, we loved when you talked about Dick Butkus and shared that you guys had bonded about reading keys, like with your linebacker mindsets. So what are some of the keys that you and Dick talked about? You remember, like, you're watching offensive linemen to learn stuff? What were the keys?
Yeah, so when you're playing middle linebacker, you're basically standing in the middle of the defense right over the football. So him and I would talk about, once the flow of the back, so let's say that's a run play and the flow is going to the left, like where do your eyes go at that moment? So they have to go to the front side guard, make sure he's not pulling back so it's a misdirection play. Then your eyes got to travel over to the tight end area, the C area, and then you got to see, okay, is he blocking on point or is he releasing for a pass? So that gives you a lot of information in the first 2 steps after the play starts. And so we were just talking about that in depth, and we spent a good 35, 40 minutes talking about it.
Man, that's awesome. So even with modern offense and all the fancy new stuff, it's the same game, isn't it? Still. Same
exact game. And I always cherish my moments I had with Dick, and it was such a great moments that I had when I was able to talk some ball with him when he was in Halisaw.
All right, 2 more quick things because we're learning a little bit about you. We learned that you love the old-fashioned. You're great. You're great at nicknames. We love Dragon Slayer for our guy Jaylen, but you also said that you had media nicknames. I'm only going to ask you for 2. Mark Potash. What's your nickname for him?
Mark Potash. No, I don't have one yet.
Oh.
Okay, Jason Leisure. We know you've got a secret nickname for him. We listen to the press conferences.
I do not have one for that one either. I'm sorry.
Oh my God. Okay, and then last thing, you have a very important relationship on your staff between Shane Waldron and Chris Morgan. Shane and Chris.
Yeah.
Our 2 producers are a Shane and a Chris. What's the key to making magic with Shane and Chris?
Shane and Chris. We got to come up with a jingle. I heard the jingle before I got on here. Man, it was really good. I'm gonna steal that. But for sure you got to come up with a jingle. You guys got to be creative.
Yeah, you liked Eberflus. You like that one, Coach?
There was some on the 1 to 10. There was some good stuff in there. Some of them were a 10. Though. They were really good. The one Eberflus right there is probably about an 8. That's pretty good.
We'll take it.
All right, Coach. Thank you so much for giving us some time and putting up with our ridiculousness from the Combine. We'll talk soon.
All right, you got it. You got it, guys.